we'll have this discussion.
Discussion? What discussion?
This is a discussion.
Combustion.
Coming to you from Denver, Colorado, this is Discussion Combustion Podcast with your hosts, Kevin Batstone and Arthur Raw.
Ready to rock and roll?
Yeah, we rock and roll.
Nice. What are we on? 270, 260 something?
267, I believe.
267.
Holy shit. That's a lot of episodes.
That's a lot, man. Yeah. Doesn't feel like that many, but...
It doesn't. It doesn't. You know, Kevin claims he's a professional talker.
I've never claimed that.
You know?
I just talk professionally. Like to do some talking.
It's all about how you phrase it, man. About how you word it, however you frame it.
That's true.
It's your story. You tell it.
It's my world, and you all got to live in it.
Yep. It's your chicken. You fuck it.
I haven't heard that one. That's pretty good.
That's probably going to be legal here in like a couple years.
Oh, shit.
Bestiality's going on the ballot.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that for sure, but I could see it like in some
I wouldn't
areas.
be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know, man. I think it could happen.
I mean, look, people have been doing animal sex since... What is the safe way to say it? Romance with an animal since like the 90s.
Well, yeah,
since way back then.
There's some cultures that like we're goats and stuff, you know. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, and then you wonder now, is it tied into... I see there's plenty of people that are furries, right? And that's kind of...
That's definitely walking
Is that a
the
little
line.
weird territory on some of that? Well, identify as a cat. That doesn't mean you can... or does it?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's where it gets dicey.
That's,
Right?
I mean, these are the,
And this is not in any way trying to go towards any sort of right wing, whatever. Like,
No.
now because gays have rights, then we're gonna have sex with animals. Like, it's not meant to be anything like that.
yeah.
Just making funny observations.
No, that is a good one.
Yeah, things are going to get a little squirrely, and there's not much we can do about it.
No,
trying.
that's kind of it. Who knows?
Yeah,
Who knows anymore? It's wild.
Yeah,
Different
because
time.
it is.
Different
You
time
had-
than how we grew up. Or how I
very,
grew up.
very different.
it is.
Yeah, I think that's the hardest part is, you know, because I grew up in a pretty conservative small town,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and I moved out to Denver in like 2007. So Facebook wasn't real big yet, you know, like all that shit wasn't happening. So like I got out of high school and got out of all that before it became in our face all the time. This is society now. And so it's like, you know, you kind of learn to, I don't want to say adapt a different personality or anything like that, but you just kind of, I don't know. I've caught myself with my foot in my mouth a few times from like old ways of thinking, so to speak.
Sure.
You know,
Same.
Just how I grew up or whatever. Like, oh, you know, like we used to be like, oh, that's gay. Can't really do that anymore.
Can't.
You know,
Yeah.
People get upset. So like stuff like that. Just catching myself like, okay, things are changing a little bit,
Yeah. I don't know.
Don't want to get canceled.
and it's easy to do.
It very easily happen.
It's easier to get canceled. Yeah.
Well, and everybody just, you know, Kevin and I were kind of talking about the atmosphere prior to recording, and I think it's weird how offended everybody is about everything.
Yeah.
Like, isn't it okay, like, to be a little confused? Like, if I'm confused about something, isn't that just okay for me to be a little confused? And if they don't understand my thought process, like, isn't that okay if they don't understand it? Like,
I would think so, but everybody's got, since there's no consequences to say whatever you want on the internet, you know, people think they can say whatever they want and you can really, but you get into real life and everybody is pretty cordial.
mm-hmm.
You know, I've traveled around a lot with different bands and this band and stayed with people that I know that I have a completely different viewpoint on, and everybody's chill.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of what they show is just obviously sensationalist because that sells on media stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But everybody still gets along in America, at least. I feel like we're all pretty good. Everybody's still got a good head on their shoulders for the most part. Just don't bring up any stupid shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
and be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Just chill out. Just because someone says something doesn't mean you need to get offended. We used to as punk rockers try to say things that offended people.
Right.
And now it's like I see in some of the scenes where it's almost flipped where you can't do that now, and it's just odd. Like I grew up in the punk scene young, and now I'm in the punk scene again with this band, and it's like it's really different from how it was when I was coming up. And different generations, I guess. I mean, I'm getting up there anymore.
That's how we know we're getting old. When we're like, it's not the same that
Not
it
the
used to
same.
be.
Things aren't the way they used to be.
It was better back then.
Gas used to cost $1 a gallon.
McDonald's was better back then.
McDonald's was better. The Big Mac was bigger.
Everything was better. But yeah, I mean, you're right. Punk rock kind of paved the way for like playful banter in the music and calling out certain, kind of anti, like, government a little bit. Like, we're going to do our own way. And, like that was really big in the 90s, what I remember. That's like was kind of the punk movement. And, like, it made, like, everybody was accepted in it, I feel like. But it was definitely a group that was like kind of the rebels, kind of anarchists, kind of we're going to do things our own way. Fuck the rules.
And even, like when I grew, it was like 90s, so it's quote unquote punk rock. It wasn't really what it was originally, how it started. There's a lot of pop punk that came in there. And I love pop punk. I love all that stuff. It's all good. It's just interesting to see how things have changed.
Yeah.
I grew up in that music, and I started doing other different kinds of music, and somehow found my way back into it, and it's really neat, and just different. So enjoying it.
I love what you guys do. I mean,
Thanks, man.
we could talk about that other subject the whole time and like the people getting offended.
Sure.
but
That's
the
endless.
Frickashinas,
It's very
the Frickashinas,
the
Frickashinas?
the Frickashinas, and we got Justin on couch right now.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, no, these guys are badass. We've been to some of your shows.
Yep.
Obviously, y'all composed and recorded the Happy Friday theme song, which we play every single week.
Yep. Much appreciated.
But I love the song where it's like, listen up,
Yep.
we have to overcome.
Yep.
The video's badass too.
The video turned out
Out
good.
alive, like that song.
Yeah.
That one gets
Yep.
me pumped up sometimes.
It's a good
man.
one.
So
Thank you.
there's a lot of good music.
That's Hey Do You Want to Watch Me Die Again?
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really wordy title.
It is.
And just we like odd titles to the songs. I came up with that, or we came up with that. It was really me and my drummer Sam, and we're busy, and I'm playing video games, and it was after practice or something, and constantly playing something stupid and dying all the time, and it just became a, hey, you want to watch me die again?
Okay.
And it turned into a song title. Write that down. He's got a list of just things that come up in passing. Okay, that might be a song name. Save that one. We use that later. We might be one of the bands that I don't know. We write a song and then come up with a song name afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how often that happens, but maybe it happens all the time. Maybe
I feel like
not.
that's the way to do it, because then you let the song develop a character, a
Right.
personality. Like, okay, now we can name it.
Right.
It's like when you get a car.
Right. If you write a song, I love my girlfriend. You're gonna write it. You have to write a song like you love your girlfriend. If you come up with a song first and you can come up with a title later, it really does almost take on its own sort of meaning, and you can play with what the song is written about compared to, say, make a joke about it with the title. It's become a funny other creative way that we've found with the band, just to have fun with it on our own.
Yeah.
Because we always joked about, like, nobody's listening, nobody cares really.
They don't.
They don't really. It's just one of those things you have to get used to, and once you get fine with that, I feel like you release and be more creative. I spent so many years trying to, we have to do this, we have to go that way, we have to hit the road, we have to make all of this, and the focus on it can stifle it. And with this band, we allow it to breathe, and just because we're more experienced probably and understand songwriting more, and don't push it when you don't need to. You feel like there's an urgency. We need to get this out. We need to get this done. But then, well, why? 'Cause nobody cares.
Yeah.
They're not gonna
It's
listen.
like we're putting all this pressure on ourselves.
Yeah, we're putting the pressure on ourselves to get this done by this due date. Nobody's gonna listen to it for the whole time, and then once you're fine with that and just put it out, it frees you, and then people do start listening to it. It's a baffling thing how that I heard on that Smart List podcast, Sexy Indifference. If you kind of don't, if you care too much, it pushes it farther away.
Yes.
If you kind of know you're good and you're confident in what you do, and you don't give as much focus on it, it seems to almost help.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just funny. It feels like that applies to a lot of different things in life, in relationships with. If you're trying to date somebody, I've definitely been that guy who's been, wow, you're great. I can't believe that you're talking to me, and you just push that person farther and farther away by saying it. Nobody wants that, but you play a little bit aloof, and it works in your favor sometimes.
Yeah, you kind of act like you don't care a little bit, but you show that you care.
Right, you have to still really care.
That's the secret, and I'm just talking dating. or
Right.
in relationships.
And music is similar, I feel
you have
like.
to
Yeah, I can see
show
that.
how you feel. You don't tell how you
Yeah,
feel. You
yeah.
have to show it.
If you're
You
too
don't
upfront
tell
with it, if it's too on the nose,
Mhm.
people can sniff it out, and
Yeah.
it has to be real. And you can't be doing. I guess it doesn't necessarily have to be real. You can have talent in both
Yeah.
being a pickup artist and being a musician artist. You have a talent. You can kind of fake some of it, but the
Mm-hmm.
real stuff, the vulnerability, is what everybody connects with, and just being real,
Mm-hmm.
and then but not getting too aggressive and pushing too hard. I don't know. I'm talking circles here. I
It's,
guess.
no,
at
it's
this
a
point.
balance.
It
It's
is a balance for sure. It's a tightrope in some areas. And mystery is good too, I feel like.
Yeah.
Whether it's a band, relationships, work, whatever, like a little bit of mystery, not always showing your hand so people don't know, oh yeah, this new single's coming out, this is what we can expect. You know, you don't want to be predictable, right?
True, that's true. Definitely, but and then you have to also be familiar enough to where you don't alienate sometimes too. You know, I'm a firm believer. I like weird everything, but I've been in bands where you play weird things at odd time signatures and parts don't repeat, and most everybody doesn't get it. I mean, I've been in bands like that, and musicians love it. Musicians are like, you guys, we holy crap. We can't believe you're doing this, and then everybody else in the crowd was just like, I don't know
What is this?
I don't know where to bob my head to this,
Yeah.
and then it changed to a different time, and then I don't know what to do with that, and it has to same thing has to be familiar enough, but different enough, and aloof enough, but focused enough. What an odd tightrope
Yeah.
to walk, you know.
The tight ropes of life.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I feel like life is best lived in the gray area.
Yeah.
Like it's like you're walking this line between like going too far, not going too far, and like and it's like for every single subject. Like I don't care what subject you're talking about, there is a tightrope to walk on that subject.
Yeah.
Whatever you're trying to accomplish, and that's
True.
one weird thing about it.
You can say whatever you want, and that's fine. But there's a certain path that will get you some type of success, maybe, or some type of failure, or some type of ostracization.
Mm-hmm.
If that's a word.
Ostracization. Say that 3 times fast.
Yeah. Jeez.
Create a lisp I didn't know I have trying to say it.
Ostracization. Yeah, that's a tongue twister.
I was watching something the other day, and Martin Short was like, why do you think they put an S in the word lisp? And it just
They're, like, fucking with
made
people.
me laugh so hard, dude.
Yeah, he is funny.
He cracked me up. Sorry, I'm just
No, you're
No,
good.
another
yeah.
here nor there.
Yeah, no, that's good. Going back to that music video, though, every time I see, what's that, Hey, You Don't Want to Watch Me Die Again, I always want to go to the mountains. I'm always like, I want to go to that spot. That place
Yeah.
just looks bitchin'.
That was really neat. Sam, our drummer, works at 4x4 Wildside up in Estes Park, and
Oh, nice.
he's a welder, so they weld roll cages on these huge vehicles. They've got a bunch of Hummers and a couple Toyota Mega Cruisers, which is like only a handful in the U.S.
Really?
Like they turn front
Is
and
that- is
rear
that
wheel
what you were
drive.
in?
That's what we rode up.
Okay, because
yeah.
I was like, what is that?
That was a gnarly ride.
Right. It
sure.
almost looks like a Hummer, but it's just a little different, and right-hand drive. And Sam's been on the trail forever because they own that trail with that company, and they take people up just on all these four-wheel vehicles to go up climb a
nice.
mountain. And Sam builds the roll cages and all the plexiglass so you can be in it with your family and look around and see beautiful nature. But they have that cool tower on the top. And I think Sam and his family one summer helped rebuild that.
Really?
Yeah, they were all working for the company there because I've gotten real close with them, and they're a very cool family. They all are willing to jump in and throw down. But yeah, and then we got to play on top of the roof of the tower there. It was windy as hell.
So what is that, like a fire sighting tower or something?
Yeah. Essentially, I think
Yeah.
it's part of a park, and that's some kind of fire sighting ranger tower or something.
Quite the view up there.
Yeah, it's really neat. You can see all around it. It was cold that day. It was very windy, and we had to jump. We were up there playing. We get a take, and then run down into the actual cabin part and warm up, and take a shot and take a drink, and go back out there. And we had drones that were out at the same time, and it's windy as hell. And
Yeah.
I'm surprised that they got such great shots with the drones too, considering what they had to fight against.
I know there's one scene where your hair just goes perfectly with like with the music. It just goes flying, and it's just like, wow, this is an epic video.
There's some really cool stuff. It turned out really good. Not necessarily an accident, but really a neat thing. And I remember all of our instruments at one point. We were down warming up, and we had our instruments up there, and the wind blew over Sam's drum kit into our guitars
Oh, gosh.
and knocked everything onto the ground. It was wild. There was some crazy weather up there, but that was a really great video to make. Everybody was really cool.
You had to overcome.
We had to overcome.
You know,
That's
it was like,
exactly
it was fucking perfect.
It just worked perfectly. We had such a blast, though, and just being up there and being in nature that I don't see as much. There's something about it, man. I had a good time.
For sure. Nature's it's been calling. I need to get up there.
Yeah.
You know, I've been
You've been
ignoring
saying
it.
this for a while.
I know, and I just
And you
haven't done
haven't
it. I haven't done it, but I need to. Because every time you go, you know, like you're saying, it's different kind of like feeling refreshed, recharged.
Right. Helps
just
to
bitching.
reset in a way.
Especially playing in nature. I mean, that's, you know, getting your instruments out there is a little bit risky, I guess, because you guys were hoofing it up these like steep ass stairs. You got the wind whipping.
Yeah, we got to work out that day.
Thousands of dollars of equipment up there.
No biggie.
Yeah, that's all right.
No biggie. And our equipment, and then all the cameras. Jeremiah owns a bunch of that stuff because he does audio visual.
Okay.
For his job, you're going to go into setting up different conference areas, and that's definitely helped with the band as well. It's been a fun trip with all of us. Everybody's got their own kind of strength. Everybody supports each other, and that's what also helps. It's in a band. It's not just music too. And can you write together? Because plenty of people can write together. Can you get along?
Yeah.
And thrive that way, and
all arrive at the same place at the same time.
Right.
Where do you practice? Like, you don't have to tell us the exact address.
In Denver,
Yeah.
a place called Black and Bloom.
Okay.
We've recorded there too, with the guys there. It's great. It's a great spot.
Nice.
We share a spot with two other bands, the Born Readies and Weather Big Storm. I think we're gonna play a show with them come November, December. We've talked about it, just because we've done one before around the holidays with the bands from the practice space, and we're kind of different genres, but why not? Let's go and just have some fun, and who cares what happens for it? Because there's so much focus on a lot of other shows. We need to sell tickets. We need to get people out to this one, and sometimes it's fun to just hang out with your bros.
Yeah.
Just jam.
Jam.
Get back to the original.
Get some
Forget
drinks.
the business.
Shoot the shit.
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. It's nice to play those shows that don't have any pressure.
Yeah.
It's a different kind of energy. You know?
That makes sense. Rather
like
than
them both.
how many tickets do we sell? We still have this to go. Did you put that on social media? All that. I'm trying. The last time Art and I saw you, I think it was at the Summit, wasn't it?
That sounds right.
Yeah. And I think we
sounds
were both pretty intoxicated by the time you pulled us up on stage.
Yeah,
That was fun.
I had a little too much whiskey. I was hella nervous what I was gonna say, and then but I went up there and I just said a couple nice things about the band. They're awesome, and then I got off the stage and I was like, "Whew!"
No, you guys killed it.
I didn't
That was
make
a good
myself
show.
look like an idiot.
No, he killed it.
You know,
That was
because
great.
it was close, but that was a good show.
Was that the show when the banner came crashing down?
I believe that was. Yeah.
Okay.
We were.
That's punk rock right there.
Didn't it fall on like another band?
Yeah, it fell on Dan. He was
like
setting
a
in
different
for
drummer.
He was setting in for Counterpunch, and yeah, it was. And
He's
it
still
went
playing.
over.
And he was still playing
And
through
he
it.
continued through,
kept
man.
going.
He's a trooper. He's such a good drummer. We still joke about that one sometimes. Oh crap!
He held it together. He had
did.
this thing like drooping over his head, and he still like hit his right
He
cymbal.
was. He did a good job at that. He did a really good job at that.
It was such a cool banner, but it's huge, you know. And we got some good gaff tape, but
Oh, the gaffy.
we got warm in there, and
Yeah.
that still doesn't stick. We did a different show here recently where we just had one of our. It was a little like 2x4 sticker. And we stuck it on the back of the stage and joked about it. We got the smallest banner ever. You can't read it, but
So
here it
is
is.
the guy in the banana suit
was just
still
gonna ask
like?
about him.
Is he still showing up?
Yeah. Oh yeah. That's Banana J.
He's
Banana J.
dedicated.
Yeah, he goes everywhere, man. He's getting pretty famous. He goes to all sorts of shows all around the U.S.
Yeah.
He's turning into that guy, you know.
I've seen stuff of him online before, and I'm like, I've seen that dude.
We bought him a banana suit and put like our little logo. It almost looks like Chiquita Banana because we got that blue logo.
yeah, the sticker,
you know?
yeah.
It's funny. He's such a good dude, man. He's been so supportive. Everybody in Denver's been really supportive of the band. It's been a good crew, man. Denver's a real fun scene for music, and
That's
I would
awesome.
agree with that.
yeah,
And it's growing.
There's so many good bands. It's
Yeah.
just everywhere in every genre. We played the UMS not last weekend, but the weekend before. I want to say. Underground Music Showcase on South Broadway. They have a bunch of different venues that just play a bunch of shows. Amyl and the Sniffers played, and Vacations, and on the big stages. And we played the Hornet in like the side stage. It was part of they normally just do like acoustic stuff, and we played this little tiny room, and I want to say like 80 people showed up maybe. It was packed in there. And just super cool. People started moshing really hard and crowd surfing, and just the energy of that room was different than a lot of other places. It's funny how just being in a smaller room can
change the energy.
It can change the energy and make the show really fun. People were falling onto the stage, onto my pedal board, over the monitors, and we had to get people up front to kind of block for us. We played at midnight even, so like all these people showed up when we played at midnight.
Wow.
Like, wow, after the show's been going on since 4 p.m. in the heat, 100-degree weather in Denver, past 3 weekends or whatever it's been.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody showed up, man. The Denver scene is awesome, and Banana J he goes to all sorts of shows. He's such a good dude.
Like,
he's so
if
funny.
People aren't dancing, like he's gonna get it started.
Yeah.
He's gonna get started, and he just does that like classic, like he like does this classic, like walking around like that.
You see him in the pit, and you want to get involved. I mean, it's just something funny you don't see very often. We played a show back in the day at the Oriental, or the O, I think they call it now. And somebody else showed up in a gorilla suit. And then Jay's there as Banana, like, oh man, why doesn't this happen more often too?
That's like some Preston Lacey Wee Man skit from Jackass. I could see them doing something like that. He's the gorilla and Wee Man's the banana.
Yeah. I could totally see that.
Love those guys. Your drummer looks like Chris Pontius.
He does. He does.
I mean, I can't be the only one that
We
thinks
joked
that.
about it. He's party boy. Back in the day, I had some spikier, shorter hair. I got I was way better looking. It was like when I was 20, and people were like, "Oh, Bam Margera!" I had people come up from across the parking lot. You look like Bam Margera.
And then you got Chris with
and then he gets Chris Pontius.
That's hilarious.
I don't look anything like Bam Margera. I don't know how that ever
I don't
came
see
up,
Bam.
but not at all. But
That's it.
maybe in a different light, in a different year of Justin.
Could be. Bam's not looking so good these days.
No, and thank God I
But
don't
he's
look
sober.
like Bam anymore. Like, Jesus Christ. Is
He
he?
is.
Did
He's sober.
he
That's
really?
He gave up alcohol. Yeah, he's almost like a year,
Let's go.
which is good because he was in rough shape. I think Steve-O kind of encouraged him a little bit.
Good for him.
And kind of took him under his wing a bit. But those guys, man, they went hard.
Yeah.
Too hard.
You too hard, and to do with their job what they were doing, you'd have to.
You have to be fucked up.
Yeah,
That's what's crazy about Steve-O. Keep going. 15 years sober, and he's still jumping out of airplanes and shit and doing wild stuff.
That guy was a maniac
Yeah, he
before, He didn't need any of that stuff. It just amplified it.
It just amplified it for sure. I met him back in 2017 at Comedy Works South.
Oh, cool.
And he had just got done doing a skit where he did Snow Angels and rocket fuel. And he had third-degree chemical burns on his arms. He was completely bandaged up, like needed skin graft, stayed in Denver for weeks to get this repaired. And he made sure to stay at that venue and take a picture with every single person that was there.
Wow.
I'm like, dude, Steve-O's legendary.
He is super cool. It's taking 300 pictures takes a lot of time.
And he was in a lot of pain.
It does, yeah. and just shooting the shit with a lot of people, it takes a lot out of you, like mentally. You gotta be on your game,
Yeah,
sure
and
you
it's
do
like,
it.
and then what do you remember? Like,
Yeah, because usually it's alcohol-fueled.
Yeah, exactly, and that's where it's tough. And even without it, you meet so many people. It's hard to remember everything, and it's a lot.
I think most people are really good at remembering faces and honestly how a conversation made them feel. So they remember an emotional input with a visual recognition. And so if I see somebody, I might recognize their face, and then I kind of remember the emotion that's attached to that person.
Yeah.
I don't really remember the conversation or their name. At least that's what I think.
Sure. Yeah, that time and a place, and it's funny how the brain works with that, and smells. You hear you smell some smells, and that reminds me of this in childhood. What a really crazy connections the brain makes.
The smell is definitely one of them. You're like, that smells like Grandma's weird chair that she had in that room. That'll happen to me at a random. Like, I haven't smelled that in 18 years.
Hey, dude, I love a musty basement. The smell of
Oh,
something to that. I grew up in that, and
Musty basement.
Brings you
being, you kids get downstairs and play in the basement and leave all the grown-ups alone, and and man, we had a blast down there.
I'm remembering that smell. It's very not lethargic. nostalgic.
Nostalgic.
Nostalgic
there you go.
smells.
Yeah.
Must
One
be
that
based
gets
on-
me, that brings me back, is when like it's hot. It's like a really hot day, and like you smell like the hot grass,
Yeah.
like tall grass, natural wild grass.
Okay.
Yeah.
And there's like that certain smell that comes with it. It brings me back to a lot of different fields that I was standing in, or like you know
Sure.
when I was a kid.
Even like cut grass and sunscreen, like you just
yeah.
reminds me of summer, obviously, and man,
Okay, top 3 smells.
That's tough.
I don't even know. I don't even know what my top 3 smells would be.
All right, well, so number one for me is definitely Sunoco race fuel.
Okay.
I love the smell of race fuel.
Okay.
It's hard to beat. That's
Yeah,
up there.
yeah.
The smell of a woman is probably pretty
Okay,
close
yeah,
to
I
the
was
top.
gonna say that.
There
I was
you go.
gonna say that.
there you go.
And then probably a food, I would think, like maybe a steak on the grill or something.
That's pretty good.
You know, like a brisket.
That's a good list.
So yeah, I'm going race fuel, women, and meat.
Yeah, that's good.
That's a real manly list.
That is a manly list. I'm gonna put marijuana on my list.
Oh, that is a
Sure.
good smell.
That's
Yeah,
good.
You know, that's one of
Sure.
my favorite smells for sure. I love the smell of dog's feet.
dog's feet.
You know,
Wasn't
Yep.
expecting
there's
that one.
there's something about the smell of a dog's feet. I don't know if that's in my top 3,
That's
but it's a hard question to answer.
Right. I feel like you took a couple of the top 3
yeah.
right there. So do we all like my top 3 would be similar probably. So say like because I had a '68 Chevelle, so that old
yeah.
the old muscle car smell from when I was
Like
like
when you
16.
start up the engine, like
when you
it, like,
start it
has
up
that
and
smell.
yeah, I always loved that. You know, obviously women, obviously marijuana, but other than that, there's plenty. You know, just like you said, food,
Yeah.
garlic being cooked.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
so
garlic.
garlic knots or something.
Man, you smell that in the whole kitchen. There's food is such a primal thing as well,
so
right?
good.
Okay, top least favorite smells.
Least favorite smells.
I got one that look. As long as I could get this one off my chest, I think you know where I'm going with this, Kev. It's disposal units that are not properly cleaned and not properly used. So people just throw everything into their sink disposal, and then it just sits there. Like that smell, because I used to like flip apartments with my dad, and some people had rank sinks, and I'm a hairy guy. I have a hairy nose, and like, dude, the smell molecules would like stick and cement onto my
There's something
nose
to that, yeah.
to where I would completely clean everything, and I would still be smelling this. Like later, I had to go like clean, like trim my nose hairs. You gotta like
get the smell out.
clean
That
the
rotten-
inside of your nose.
That rotten food smells.
Yeah, so
that's
that's rough.
bad. That's bad. It's funny how food could be so good and so bad.
And so foul. Yeah. In a matter of hours.
Uh-huh.
It can go pretty ripe.
It doesn't take real long.
One time, Kevin was telling me about how like he thinks feet can smell good, but it's like it's right on the edge of not smell. It's like one of those things that can smell
Right.
good,
Feet are
Right.
that's a risky
but
area.
then it can't. Like it's like right there.
Yeah, feet. No, that's a good example.
That's true.
I don't think you
That's
ever
true.
told me that. I was just playing.
Well, I mean, I think the world knows I have a bit of a foot fetish, so I have a little bit of experience with it. But yeah, you're right. You know, if you want to go lap on them toes and they smell like dirt from the fucking the walk home.
Why do people have like a fetish for dirty feet?
Oh, dirty feet, I'm out.
They're all like, I want you to walk through the dirt.
It's gross.
Take pictures of your dirty feet.
I saw some article today about that Haktua girl and how they're saying
God
that
bless her.
she's one of the girl, like they're saying that she has some feet that everybody wants to look at her and like, this is news now. Where
Her
like
feet?
apparently she's got one of like the top 3 searched
feet?
feet
Really?
somewhere, and maybe I read it wrong.
Haley,
I don't know.
have you-
We're gonna get censored because of that.
Oh, yeah.
It's okay.
That's
canceled.
misinformation.
Misinformation about her feet. I haven't
I
heard about her
something.
feet.
I just saw it today on the internet. I'm
Interesting.
just screwing around at work and not
Kevin's like
instead
thinking
of
about it.
working.
What he's gonna search later.
I gotta go check.
I gotta check out Haley Williams'
What
feet.
site was this for science?
Yeah,
I just
for
have
science.
to make sure.
We need to make sure we have the proper information.
What is that from Always Sunny in Philadelphia? He's like, that's disgusting. Where can I find
Where
it?
can I find it?
That's gross. Sign me up.
I had this guy that worked at that I worked with for a while, and bigger dude was living in a trailer park, and then at one point I think the trailer they were living in froze, and all the water lines in the trailer froze and cracked, and they didn't
Wow.
have a lot of money to fix it, or know how, or want to do
Okay.
it necessarily.
So
And-
all the
and-
components.
Right. And just totally lazy kind of guy,
Mm.
you know. And man, he started getting real bad there for a while. And That is probably the worst smell, I think. Like
He stank.
He stank
Because he was in that.
He was not showering.
Yeah.
He'd come to work and it's somewhat physical. He gets sweaty there, and then go home and probably not shower again. His diet was terrible. Dude it was brutal. It was like the Peanuts cartoons where what's the guy Pigpen where he comes around, he's dirty, and you can
Got
like
the cloud
see
around
it.
him.
You can see the cloud. You could almost see the cloud around this kid. And it wasn't even just dirt. It was like almost a visual smell around him. And then he would like leave the room, and it would linger for like 5 minutes. It was unreal,
that's
man.
thick.
Like I thought it was like just like a cartoon and it's a joke, but like that's possible.
That's like extreme BO.
It was extreme BO. Man, I tried to help him a lot, and he couldn't see it. He couldn't do it. It couldn't. Maybe he got nose blind. Maybe he had to.
Wow.
But man, it's just I couldn't handle that. That was probably the worst smell. Because like you can do something about it at the same time. You know, like dude, go to the gym, go to the Y, go to whatever.
Yeah.
But easy for me to say.
Shower.
Easy for I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know his struggle either. and
Sure.
I shouldn't be making any. But I worked with the guy for a while, so I feel like I kind of knew
Yeah,
him a little.
kinda knew
Like,
him a little
dude,
bit.
you could have done something about this.
Well, and look, I mean, like, we're not trying to kick people when they're down.
No.
Get your shit
I
together.
was trying to help. Yeah,
You know?
get your shit together.
Yeah.
I'm trying to help you.
Trying to help. Yeah.
It would benefit all of us
Yeah.
if you take care of yourself every once
You
in a
like
while.
have like you put together like a PowerPoint or like some kind of presentation on how to use deodorant. Or, it's just something simple like that.
I was thinking about that this morning. A coincidence. How many times do you guys swipe with deodorant?
Oh, that's a
Okay.
good
I feel like
question.
I'm almost obsessive compulsive to where
Okay.
unintentionally I will do it the same amount of times per pit.
Same amount of times per pit, yes.
Yeah, I
But
would agree with
it
that.
also depends on the hair length because sometimes I got to trim it down,
Sure.
and so it's not as long as
You're a
it was.
modern man.
Yeah, definitely modern man.
I get you.
Some modern,
knows.
some modern manscaping,
Sure.
Yeah, yeah.
Sure.
and
I think mine.
I at least do 4. It's like 1, 2, or is that 1? Is once there and back 1?
Up, down would
I-
be.
Is that 1?
I don't know. I think I usually count one as just one swipe either way.
Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe I'll do 6.
Okay.
I think 4 is usually the number, and I usually try to go like in one direction.
Really?
Like, I'm
You
going
only go
1,
one
2,
direction?
3, 4.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I'm comically over deodoring.
Over deodorant, over applicating.
many- how
No, that
many
makes
wipes?
sense
How
because
many swipes?
sometimes I'll have some shirts and be like, well, look at those white. It's like white deodorant stains almost on the shirts.
Oh, that reminds
It's
me.
just kind of odd, So maybe I am. If you guys are doing 4, I'm doing like 16.
No.
Like
Oh,
too
that's
much.
too much.
It's too much.
Are you
You're
using
doing
that?
16?
I think
every
so.
day?
Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Oh yeah, that's too much.
So well, sometimes it's different.
You're going. You're like going 8.
Right? Sure, we'll call
Double
it
timing.
8. We'll see. And I don't
can't
think I'm
believe that.
going real hard on it either.
I think you are over applying.
I think I'm over applying deodorant.
And look, hey, you got
I
to
just-
Smell good though.
I
do.
do smell all right,
You
but I
do.
learned something today on this podcast.
Yeah. Well, one thing
think
that
we-
I learned is that you don't want to use deodorant that has like the aluminum type
Yeah,
of
the
stuff.
aluminum free.
I've heard that.
Yeah, because it's like literally medical particles that get into your skin to block the sweat.
So
So it's okay to sweat, I feel like, but as long as you're not stinking.
Yeah, that's
Right.
that's the battle though, right?
Yeah.
Because like the antiperspirant, which is the one that leaves like the white flaky shit, I feel like that's what stops the sweat. But
Right.
then you still kind of reek, because you're not getting you don't have that
there's
smell
still,
goods.
There's still sweat there.
Yeah.
And I don't know, man.
Yeah, see the one that I'll still sweat with mine, excuse me. But I go with like the Dove, the dry. Like I don't like the slick wet deodorants.
Same.
Like it feels like I'm just like getting slime in my armpit.
Slime in the pit.
Yeah, it's like why am I slime in my pit?
Is it like a clear deodorant? Or that's for the slimes normally like kind of clear,
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah, the
I
clear
use
ones.
one that's more like a stick that's kind of white.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do prefer that as well.
So I do
I don't know.
I do the Dove. It has all the right ingredients. And as long as I don't do 16 applications, then it doesn't seem to stain my shirts.
It's just one up.
Just
one,
like-
so if you count that as 2, then yeah, it's only 8.
Yeah. Still, that's kind of excessive.
Still
lot.
seems a little too
It's a
much.
little excessive.
That is a lot. I'm gonna be thinking about this
And that's-
for a while.
And that's what I was thinking about this morning. Like, is that too much? Is that, and I don't even think about it. I feel like sometimes I'll do 8, sometimes I'll do 16, but it has to
Damn.
be the same number.
16 is a lot. I feel like you might have a thing like where you have extra nerve endings in your armpits.
Maybe.
And it feels feels good. It like feels good, and that's why you're in it so long.
I don't dislike it.
Get that
You might
pit
be
hit.
right. You might be right.
I don't know.
It's an erogenous zone.
I guess it could be.
You
It
handle
is. So are the knee
You
pits.
handle correctly. Knee pits,
knee pit.
yeah.
The knee pits
can
are-
see
We
that.
don't. I don't know. I guess I never smelt any knee pit sweat. I don't know if it reeks as bad as the armpit.
I don't think so.
Not usually.
Probably not, huh?
No.
I don't think so, because it's
Um,
not just sucked down to your sides, you know?
Yeah,
It's just areas of bacteria.
it's true.
I have like a 48-hour time window. Before it's like close to 72 hours, and I start stinking.
That's about normal.
Is it because I like to shower daily normally, like
That's
once a
good.
day, because otherwise, like I feel like I break out like in different places, like over one day and not showering, which is
And-
kind of like surprising to me.
And I don't know if I'm even like, I'm not necessarily even the cleanest person, but for some reason I gotta have a bunch of deodorant. Because
Gotta smell good.
it'll be like every other day I'll actually like put shampoo in my hair. I'll do like
Okay.
shampoo one day and then the next day just kind of rinse it, a little bit. And
So I hear that's
kinda
good.
clean it out.
Did you hear that it's not good to wash your hair with hot water?
really,
Because and here's why is because it opens up your pores and it increases hair loss. And so like what I've been doing, because I did get on Hims for a little bit because I was getting thin, I feel like it helped. But I also, whenever I wash my head, I do like cold water. So I start with a cold shower in the very beginning. I like wash my hair cold, and then I switch to hot and like get the rest of the body.
interesting.
I didn't
So-
know that.
I did not know that.
That's
I've
one
heard
thing.
I heard somebody say like to splash hot water in your or cold water in your face in the mornings is good for keeping your face less wrinkled and that kind of shit too. And stuff that guys never talked about 20 years ago. Here we are talking about it,
Yeah.
Cold baths.
That's how things have changed.
The modern man movement. You can be masculine and metro.
Sure, you got to take care of yourself.
I think it's important, right? Basic hygiene.
Nobody wants to look like shit.
No.
Yeah.
Screw that.
Try to keep it together. I mean, some people don't give a fuck, but they're kind of far and few between. I feel like most people, I think, care about hygiene.
Yeah.
The way they smell.
I spent a lot of years in a van not giving a fuck, so maybe that's part of what skewed a little bit of where I'm at now too.
Yeah. The van life.
Van life, you start sitting in a van with a bunch of stinky dudes, you kind of get tired of that some over time.
Yeah.
Man, your guys' feet stink.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's
maybe that's
true.
part of it.
Old socks.
Maybe so. Yeah, dude, it
It's
gets
like
bad
summer camp on the
sometimes.
road.
You spill like somebody spills a beer, and then that beer smell starts to.
yeah.
Oh,
it
yeah,
just
that's one of
gets
my least
awful.
favorite smells, too.
It's awful, dude, and
It's
hard
like
to get out.
dry
Drink beer. Yeah.
Bud Light.
Any beer.
I think Bud Light's like really stinky.
Is it?
But when
Bud
you
Light
go to
gets
like when you go
bad.
Keystone
kinda
though, when
sour.
you go Keystone, dried up Keystone, or like somebody threw up the
Yeah.
Keystone and then they
Yeah.
didn't
Well,
clean,
yeah.
and then
well,
they didn't
it's-
clean it up.
You get vomit
That's
involved.
worse.
They didn't clean it
That's
up.
in my top
Definitely
3
worse.
worst smells right
That's a
there.
good point. Hey, we missed that one.
Yes.
The Keystone vomit.
We played punk rock bowling in Vegas, and I was drinking margaritas at the pool, and I had some Vans on, and I put them by the thing, and I think I must have knocked my cup over because I think that whole margarita spilled on one of my shoes, and we had to put them on. One was wet, and it was the worst smell I had ever. It was like a tahine mango margarita, and it just reeked after like sitting on my shoe all night. Threw those away.
yeah.
Gone.
Yeah.
There's no saving these.
Yeah.
It's not worth it.
Got to get rid of
The
that.
margarita sneakers got to go.
I think Jay lost a shoe on that tour. It was just funny. Like, how did I throw my shoes away? Somehow you lost one. How does this happen to
Things
guys?
come in threes.
Yeah, we're old enough to know better than this.
Yeah.
But Vegas, dude.
See, I've never officially I've only driven through Vegas.
Oh, okay.
I've never actually stopped. And I'm like not a party mode type of guy right now, so I think I would want to go for like some of the entertainment, like the shows.
Okay.
And like I'm not a big gambler either, but like the food would probably be fun, the entertainment.
True.
You know,
That's true. I usually go for drinking and
Partying.
Is it
Party.
expensive? Are
party
like the
time.
hotels expensive out
No.
there?
not really.
No,
I don't think so.
Everything is relatively cheap, I suppose. Especially if you're just gambling a little bit to get free drinks, as long as you're patient.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
That's the
You know,
key is
excuse
patience.
me.
They
That's
come
a
around
good way
like
to
once
do
an
it.
hour.
Yeah, they're definitely spacing you out a bit.
Yeah. Bring me 3, please.
Yep. You got a tip fat?
Yeah.
Here's a couple extra bucks. Come around a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
See,
I
my
have a
problem
lot
with
of fun.
gambling is I want to get that big hit, and so I end up losing a shit ton of money really quickly.
That's gambling.
The only time that I've ever made money gambling was when I played blackjack. I was playing 21.
Really?
That was the only time I ever actually made money gambling. Every single other time I went, I've lost.
I don't know. I watched you win money on horses.
I guess that is gambling.
That is.
That was so much fun. Have you ever won horse betting?
Yeah.
Man, what a good time. It's
fun.
simple.
There is something fun about it.
Yeah.
It's
exciting.
Enjoy it as well, yeah.
You know, you got your horses. You're like, all right, I got the, exacta box bet, the quinilla on the 7 and the 3 horse, and you're sitting there rooting them on. They come to the line and you lose.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yep.
I went with my uncles in California maybe a year ago or something like that. I forget where we were at, but we had a good time. Just drinking beers, hanging out with family.
It's a blast.
Yeah, we had a blast
Cheap bets.
at the rate. Yeah, cheap bets, dude. It was just something fun to do, something different.
Yeah,
I had a blast.
See, here's the thing with gamblers, okay? That this is for you, anyone that's listening. I believe that the second you put your money down to gamble it, you have to consider it gone. Because some people are sitting here, they gambled, and they're like, oh, I lost, $2K. I got to get my money back.
And then they put up their car.
It's like your money doesn't fucking exist anymore.
It's not your money anymore.
It's gone. Like you're not getting your money back. Like you already gambled your money. It's gone now. And I feel like there's like that attachment to it where people like don't want to let go of their money even though they already did. I feel like that's one area for gamblers to like really help themselves not continue to gamble more money.
It's tough though. You tell those gambling addicts that. I mean, we've all been on a flight home from Vegas. There's some quiet, sad faces on that plane. They're like, man, how am I going to make the mortgage this month?
That's rough when you're doing stuff like that.
That's where it gets really bad. And, gambling it's a big problem. And now that sports gambling is legal here, at least in Colorado, which I've partaken on like FanDuel. I don't use FanDuel. I use DraftKings.
Oh, okay.
Super easy. You can just boom, $100 in, gamble. And I support, gambling should be legal. I don't think we should, take it out of the hands of people, even though sports gambling is still illegal in certain states.
Right.
Which is weird. Like, you can't use DraftKings if you're in a certain zip code.
In Texas and stuff, right?
Texas is one.
Yeah,
I think Missouri was another one. A couple states are like, we're just not on board with that yet. But I'm all about the DraftKings. Because then you're not getting a bookie involved. You're not going and doing some underground shit. You're just, you're square.
Yeah, there you go. That makes sense. Yeah, why would that be an issue? People can make their own decisions.
Yeah.
That's what freedom.
America. Hell yeah. America.
You can make all the bad decisions you want. That's the beauty.
That's true.
Or you can make all the good decisions you want.
Maybe like live a good, balanced life and do both.
Everything in moderation. We were just
Everything
talking
in
about
moderation,
that
Make a bunch of bad decisions, hopefully when you're younger.
Yeah.
And then when you start getting older, then you're like, okay, let's tighten this shit up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: is like I'm 37, recovered painkiller addict, and all this other shit, and I am enjoying my life more now than I did when I was all fucking doped up.
Sure.
And like I had no priorities back then other than getting high. Like life is better now.
Man.
And, I should still do a little weed and stuff, but
Sure. But that's it's not necessarily.
yeah. Like,
What-
weed
what's-
gets a pass for some. Everyone's like, weed's cool.
I saw a sticker once. It was like, God created weed, man created beer. Who do you trust?
Okay.
It made me think about it. Like,
pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That's a
It
good
is
sticker
pretty
to
good.
put on the guitar case.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
I forget what I was gonna say something else too. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Well,
I
it's not
mean-
been that important.
Yeah, I mean, look, opiates are not good.
No,
okay? Like all the Oxycontin shit is bullshit,
And the fentanyl.
And honestly, drinking
Yeah.
is kind of fucking stupid too. I mean, like it can be
Totally.
fun, and I still have some wine every once in a while, but I don't really drink beer anymore or hard liquor because it just doesn't treat me well. It just really doesn't. And honestly, Kev, congratulations on the progress you've made
Thank you.
on that journey
Appreciate
too,
it.
man. Because
That's right.
he's rocking and rolling on that, and Kev's doing shit that people are like, oh, that doesn't make sense because he sells booze
That's what I do in the daytime.
for his day job.
Oh man, that's tough.
And
Can be
Can be.
for some people.
yeah,
I mean, yeah. So I'm doing a little bit uncharacteristically. I have a house full of booze. I work in the wine and spirits industry, which we sell the party, but I'm not partaking in it. So I guess for some people that the temptations are tougher than others. And then doing this, like I was telling you off mic, that's where I started. I was not drinking on the show before I quit completely. Because this used to be a free for I'd come here and just get fucking
yeah.
wrecked.
We used to
You know-
record us getting wasted,
Musicians come on, bring a bottle of whiskey, and we get fucking hammered.
and those were fun times. We had a lot of fun.
That was the last podcast I did.
Yeah.
I
You got trashed.
Deal,
And it was probably a good time.
It was a blast. I had a great time.
Yeah.
I'm having a great time now, though.
Yeah.
Also by not
Sure.
not drinking the entire
Well,
time.
it's just different. It's just a little different.
But yeah, you don't need alcohol to have fun. But alcohol can definitely add some fun. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
you're playing a show or whatever. You got people bringing you shots. Like, you get in the zone. But you're not going to get so schnockered that you can't perform.
Right.
And not, you're not going to
not anymore.
misrepresent.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
You had
Once
to
upon
learn
a
that
time.
lesson. Yes.
Yeah, I learned that lesson a few years ago.
Yeah. So before the Frickashinas, you played in another rock band?
Yeah,
Was
a
it
few
rock?
different ones. It was more of like a prog rock
Okay.
metal band almost. Me and the drummer Sam, we have similar music tastes for a lot of weird stuff. Weird is like the new catchy, Like it's weird at first to everybody. Oh, I don't even know if I like that, and then you hear it enough times, like, oh wait, that's something different that's really good. And that's what he and I strive to find for a lot of different music. We don't always listen to what we play necessarily, but we listen to a lot of different stuff, and that pulls in different inspiration,
Creative
different
ideas.
places. But yeah, it was that band before that. I took some time off between bands in there too. I've been playing in bands, since I was like 15.
And you an 80s baby?
Yeah, 82.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
So you're like the same age as my brother.
Yeah, that's the
Nice.
same with my brother.
Nice.
It's a good age.
Yeah.
The 80s.
Yeah, exactly. I'm 41, which is wild.
That is crazy.
How did that happen?
You survived.
I made it.
You made it.
I made it.
Because there's ones that didn't get it this far. Rest in peace. you
It's
know?
true, man. Getting older is not bad. A lot of people don't get to this age anyway. So
True.
Well, it's when you get older and you don't accept that life is full of cycles, and then you're staying stuck in like an old way of life that honestly, like, you're in a different cycle in your life now, and we can't control when cycles begin and end. They just happen.
True.
And it's like some people get stuck and then they want to be living in their 20s,
Right.
but really they're in their 40s, and then they're like miserable because they don't know why they can't find happiness now, but
Right.
because they're not living in the present.
You got to
True.
grow, right? You got to keep moving forward. Like that's got to be the key to life, right? Keep moving forward. Keep progressing. Anybody can stagnate and just do nothing,
Yeah, that's easy.
right? That's easy.
Just exist.
Yeah, and it gets awful that way. Nobody wants to do that, but people do it.
It's true.
I'm chronically lazy. I've tried to beat it out of myself as much as I can, and like I still feel like I'm lazy, but I've got a band that's playing all the time. We put a lot of time into work.
Yeah.
and we're always practicing and doing and going to shows and promoting. I'm definitely not lazy.
It's
but
not
I
like
always,
you're not doing anything.
it's not like I'm not doing anything. Like
Yeah.
I got a lot of stuff going on, but I still feel like sometimes like, man, get up and what are you doing? Like,
can relate
you're
to
just
that.
wasting some time, and the older I get, the more it's more pronounced. What are you
Yeah.
doing? Get up, go do something.
Do
Go to that
something.
show. Go rub elbows with somebody, or just something.
Yeah.
We all crave it.
Typically, though, like when it ties to your band, that's something that you're excited about, passionate about, right? So you're like,
True.
we got Frickashinas work tonight. I'm ready. I'm there. I'm on time. Let's do this. Because that's it's finding something that you're extremely passionate about, right? That gets
Yeah.
you like I think that's the big thing for some people that just work the 9 to 5, go home, don't have a podcast to do, don't have a band playing. That's where it gets tough for them. Maybe they're raising the kids, and then that's just life for them. And then once the kids
What are you
grow
doing?
older,
Looking at social media.
looking
when
at
you get
social
home, like,
media,
Yeah.
watching
Where's your
Fox
meeting?
News, getting angry about the world, whatever, right? It's finding that thing that gets you excited to wake up early and we'll go hunting on Sunday or whatever it is.
It's
I think
true.
That's key.
You have to have a hobby of some sort.
Yeah.
There's a lot, like I said, there's a lot of years there where I wasn't playing music. I got kind of burnt out, and weird things happened in the industry for me that I ran into, and some of it was my own causing, but just odd shit.
Yeah.
But I spent a lot of years there not doing any music really, and I drove myself crazy.
Yeah.
I was drinking too much. I was doing whatever drugs. It was just too wild. I need to have some kind of outlet. And I imagine most people are like that. But they don't know how to express
maybe it's
that.
painting.
Right.
Maybe it's like bird watching or
Sure.
something, or
Yeah,
like
hiking.
Yeah, like doing. It's just we have to do something beyond what we do to make money, right? Because then if we're just living for that paycheck and that's all we're doing on a day, I was productive. I worked. Well, you worked for the man. You didn't work for yourself. You didn't do anything for yourself.
Yeah.
And you have years of not doing anything for yourself, then you end up becoming miserable.
It's true.
And midlife crises happen because then they realize,
Yeah.
oh, my days are limited.
Right.
And then people start buying Corvettes and
People
skydiving.
People start divorcing. because there's nothing else to talk about anymore.
It's
and,
true.
And maybe that's why everybody's getting divorced, like
because they don't have
need,
hobbies.
You need a hobby. Find something, like
Yeah.
get
Well, that
excited
gives you
about
some space
something.
from your partner too.
Right.
Like successful relationships. Kevin and I have been in a successful friendship relationship for 15 years or something.
Long time.
And we don't always spend all the time together.
Sure.
But same with like in a romantic relationship, you can't just be dependent on being with that person all the time.
Right. You can't smother that person.
Yeah.
You can't depend on someone for your happiness.
That's
Right?
key.
It's got to. You have to have some of that on your own, because nobody's going to make you happy. Not 100%.
Yeah.
No.
And then and those things that just start driving you crazy. I don't know. It's a weird world out there, dude. Everything's
is.
gotten very strange in the last 50 years. I'm sure. I haven't even been around that long.
Yeah.
Just in my lifetime.
I mean, we're
How
all
much
part of
things
like
have
the
changed.
technology, like because
We saw it all. The
when we were
dot-com
kids,
bubble.
yeah.
Right.
You know,
Right.
been
We were
through a lot
kids.
of it.
We go out on bikes when we were kids and just be gone.
Until the
all
streetlights
day.
came
Till
out.
the
no
streetlights came
fucking
on.
cell phones.
No
like
one
they
knew
didn't
where you
even
were.
exist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Be back later. We'll see you. And the weak kids got weeded out and taken into vans like the way.
Yeah, the candy man, you know.
Candyman came and found him.
The stupid ones ended
the
up in the
stupid
van.
ones ended up getting in a van with somebody. You never saw him again.
Yeah.
No, that's messed up.
That's
Yeah.
the punk rocker. Anyway.
That's
Come on,
right.
man.
The saying
That's the punk
something
rocker.
that's
Yeah.
provocative.
Yeah,
true,
provocative
though.
jokes should exist.
They should exist, and that's why comedy. I love comedy because it's like we went through this weird period with comedy in the last 20 years where it went from exactly what we just described to everything's offensive to now it's starting to come back.
Yeah.
We're starting to normalize jokes again because they're just jokes. And I feel like every comedian is like, they're just jokes, people. They always have to like preface it with that. This isn't like a PSA. I'm not running for political office here. We're just making jokes. Let's get back to that. I think we need more comedy and laughter, and it's okay to poke fun. There's a line where it becomes a little bit insulting or, hate speech, so to speak, but everyone deserves a little bit of fun poked at them. I think we've lost that. We've become a little sensitive.
And it makes people humble.
Yeah, and talking about it out loud makes me wonder, like, if the internet, like, we would like to bring it back for what everybody can say whatever they want on the internet, and my generation, the generation before, didn't have internet before, so some things are getting said that are meant to be
Private.
well, not necessarily private, but like kind of a joke in a way that you
Yeah.
say on the internet, but they take it so seriously because you don't realize it's a joke because you can't read sarcasm on a text, and
Yep.
things can be taken so funny in different ways, and now maybe because the newer generation has had the internet for so long, and people are used to the internet now, that we are coming back to where, oh yeah, jokes are okay again. We can make jokes on the internet that are off color and insensitive, and not get completely offended and rant for a paragraph on why you shouldn't have said that.
Right.
Man, like what a tiring existence that is too, where someone can say something and ruin your whole day. That's mind control.
Yeah.
You're allowing people to control your mind through the sounds that come out of their word hole. Like,
It's reactive.
people get so reactive on it. Like, just slow down a minute. Why are you giving this person so much credit to where they can ruin your day?
Yeah. Noticeably upset.
Man, like, that sounds awful. That
Yeah.
sounds like an awful way to go around.
Yeah, and I think he summed it up pretty well there. Like,
know?
looking at it from a bird's eye, like, you're really going to let this nonsense
You're right.
that's always existed, you're going to let this ruin your day.
Yeah.
You don't want to go out
It's always been
now.
here. You didn't see it, and what I've watched so much stuff on the internet. What I think Ricky Gervais said something like,
Oh, he's
how,
great.
How overinflated is your ego to where you think that you can go through life and not be offended? So people can't say things that offend you because you think they shouldn't. Come on,
Yeah.
Yeah.
who are you?
It's like a
Who
very
the fuck do you
selfish
think
approach.
you are?
Yeah.
You
Like, everyone
can't
needs to
look
coddle them.
outside yourself and see it's a joke and just get over it. It's so wild, man. What a
Yeah.
different time.
I think the internet really kind of corrupted that, though, for people. They lost touch with that.
We weren't ready for it.
Yeah, no. It happened very fast.
We were not ready for what it is.
No. And social media, it happened so fast. And everybody has an opinion. Everyone's being compared to, celebrities and comparing lives.
And they're not even real.
And they're not real. No,
that's
they're
not real either.
Influencers,
Uh-huh.
right? I mean,
all this shit's fake.
All the
Yeah.
lighting, all the
filters.
and stuff they can do now.
AI.
And AI stuff too. Jeez.
So one thing I like to do to get my point across when texting, because
Texting.
people will misread your texts.
Oh, it happens all the time.
yeah.
All the time.
So
What do
I-
you mean by that?
I come in with the emojis nowadays.
Yeah.
Like I'll come in and like lighten it up with the emoji.
I like that.
And I feel like it adds that extra layer, especially if you're talking to somebody who doesn't really know you.
Yeah.
But like you're getting to know somebody, or it's like something.
Say something snarky and then leave the little winky face.
Yeah, like just something like I'm playing around.
You're an asshole.
You're an asshole.
I'm playing around.
Eggplant, you know. no, that's not right.
Pregnant
Anyway.
man emoji.
Yeah. Hey, whatever works.
man.
Whatever
That
works.
exists.
Does it
lighten
really?
the mood.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotta find that one.
That's
does.
on there.
It is on there.
To your point, it's kind of changed communication a little bit. GIFs, like I use a lot of GIFs.
Those are
I
fun.
really like responding to people with GIFs that aren't prepared for it.
True.
I even do it in some professional environments.
Sure.
You know, there's a time and a place for everything. It doesn't always have to be buttoned up. This is how we are. We can have a little fun.
Yeah, we can have some fun.
But you're right. Yeah, texting. But see, then like the acronyms, you know, BRB, like you know, going back to the AOL Instant Messenger days, LOL, BRB. What were some of the OG acronyms? Now there's too many. I don't know what any of the shit means.
WTF.
WTF
Right,
was an
right.
OG.
Right.
Now there's an acronym for everything, and people will speak in acronyms in full sentences, and I'm like, all right, that's too much.
Yeah.
I don't, you know,
This is meant for text.
yeah,
For writing something out.
it's too much. It's too much. But
You're
yeah,
saving so much time by not saying words. No, you're not really.
I think there was an episode of The Office where Kevin Malone was trying to do that. He was trying to save time. Me hungry, eat now.
That's right.
God, I love that show.
That
That
is a good
show's
show.
great, dude.
Going back to Ricky Gervais, right? He kind of wasn't he one of the original writers of that program?
You're right, and he did the original Office in
The UK.
in the UK,
Okay.
right? Yeah.
I never watched all that one, though.
I've seen a few of them. I hadn't watched all of them either. They're funny. It's just different kinds of. It's UK humor compared to.
And I love British humor.
Yeah. Yeah.
So dry, cut to
Yep.
the point.
Yep.
You know, and they don't get as offended. I don't feel like. I don't hang out with Brits much, but I would imagine.
It seems like some of the humor, yeah, you can push some things a little differently there.
They call each other cunts. You know, no one cares. You know.
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
And maybe that's cultural because we don't like that word,
That's
but
true.
everybody they use it, and a lot of other people do. I don't know.
English is my girlfriend's second language, and one time we were like watching a show, and they said "cunt." She's like, "What's that word?" And I'm like, "That word
Is a no-go.
is one. If you want to offend,
I can't even say
if
that
you want to
word.
offend a woman, like you say that word, it's worse than bitch." Is what I was telling
Good
her.
way to describe it to someone that doesn't know what it means.
Yeah, it's just wild. No, but back to your point, like, first of all, I'm so happy that I grew up with limited technology and screens in my face.
Same.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so happy for that. But then also, like, the fact that you're talking about people getting so offended and, like, allowing one moment to ruin their whole day. So, and then they just live perpetually upset. Like, people
Yeah.
who are going to get upset, and, like, look, somebody could say something and it bothers me, but, like, I'm going to move on.
Yeah.
I'm not going to focus on this all day.
Right.
People who are getting upset about what other people say are just upset all day long about something.
About some random stranger on the internet.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're gonna
It's
just
crazy.
it's gonna bleed over into the rest of life, and
Yeah.
man, it's too short for that.
It is.
I spent a lot of years angry. Being a punk rock band, I spent
Angry.
a lot of years angry. And it's just like, oh man, I'm so glad I'm not in that state.
I can relate to that. Yeah, I spent a lot of my years angry, and I don't even know what I was angry about.
Right,
Just
you know.
finding shit to be pissed off about because that felt
This is fucked up.
Yeah.
This is fucked up.
This is
Well,
bullshit.
no, this is bullshit.
everything's
Well,
rigged
and
against
it
me.
is, but, like, how long do we want to focus on that?
Right.
Control
right.
what you can
And
And
control.
it's, at some point, like, then do something about it.
Right.
You know,
Instead
like
of bitching.
You can't bitch about it. Do something, or shut the fuck up. You know.
Yeah.
That's the promo clip. It's true though. I mean, yeah, either do something or shut the fuck up. I mean, like,
yeah.
we can all sit here and bitch, moan, and complain about what's going on, and like, and most of the shit that we're complaining about, we have no control over. Whether it's political, whether it's what's happening overseas.
Sure.
You know, everyone can have an opinion about it. That's fine, but like, you know, we don't need to shut down the happy hour for it.
Right.
You know, we're still here to have
We
fun.
start yelling at each other
Yeah.
across the room over things and stuff that doesn't change. Like right now, in my job is where everybody's talking about how there's an election coming up, so it's a weird slowdown because nobody knows what's going to happen. The economy could change and things could. And it's like, sure, but you know, and the president has a certain amount of power, but nothing really changes when people swap the guard. Really,
balance of power,
we don't
yep.
stop manufacturing or we don't stop doing the jobs we do. America's not built to stop.
Well,
You know?
like,
So why every 4 years do I got to go through this cycle to where, oh, we don't know what's going to happen because of the election? I can tell you what's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen. We're going to move on with our lives after everybody's done. They're going to get over it in a few months. And it's just crazy.
Yeah. It's predictable.
It's craziness.
People will bitch, moan, and complain.
Sure.
Then the dust will settle, the smoke will clear,
Everything's fine.
and the stock,
And we all
will
know
be open
it,
again.
but somehow we all play into the same thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's perpetuating drama. So in this book, the 4 agreements, they talk about the agreements that you want to make is being impeccable with your word, and that's the only one I'm going to focus on right now. That's the very first one. And what they talk about that is like, what are you saying? What does your saying have? What are you trying to make happen with your words?
Yeah.
We get to choose our, like, you can think whatever you want, but what you say out loud is different. And so being impeccable with your word is like removing talking about drama or like,
Right.
like, oh, did you see that person's outfit? Like that type of surface level shit is so stupid, but it's one of the most common ways that humans relate with one another and
Yeah.
like bond is through talking shit about stuff.
That's true.
And so
Misery
like,
loves company.
So
Yeah.
back to the political shit, like they want to have this division and like create all this extra shit because someone's making money off of it somewhere.
Right.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, that's what it always is, right? Why is this thing the way it is? Money. It's always the answer.
Money. Power.
Power.
Which
Money
equals money.
equals money. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's always the same.
It's unfortunate. And I try to think, like, I was actually thinking about this earlier today. When we look at, like, American politics, for example, when was the last time we were truly, we felt united, where everyone was like, my fellow American, my neighbor, like, we're getting along. Come over for a barbecue. You know, I mean, that still happens a lot. I'm not saying that's gone.
Maybe
but
Bush and Bill Clinton.
I was
back
thinking,
then?
like, 9/11.
There you go.
9/11,
yeah.
everyone kind
Everybody
of came
was-
together. There was American flags on every street.
Yeah.
You know, and then, like, since then, we talked about, social media and all that. Now it's just like, oh, no, I don't talk to Robert anymore because he believes what I don't believe.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you mean you don't talk to
He
him?
put up one
Right.
post and now he's
Guys were friends for 20
Done.
years.
Yeah.
Now they're not talking because they have different political views.
And
That's sad.
That's also
It is sad.
That's what's also shitty about the internet is like then people cut each other off, but like if they had these conversations in person, they'd probably find common ground,
Right.
And maybe actually learn a couple things because when you sit and have a conversation with somebody with something that you disagree with them about, and you talk to them respectfully, then you actually like your perspective changes on that subject a little bit, and you kind of learn some things. You might
hope.
not fully get swayed, but you might have a different understanding. Like, okay, I could kind of see that.
Well, and
You
it's
know?
okay to disagree. Like agreeing to disagree is something that we don't do anymore as a
Right.
society because you have the keyboard warriors. It's like, I'm done with you, blocked, or whatever. Like, there's no real, okay, we're not going to agree on this. Think about sports rivalries, right? I grew up in the New England area, so Red Sox, Yankees, big deal. What team, sports rivalries still to this day kind of have that. It's like, you can root for different teams, but we're all still going to have a hot dog and a beer. I just want to get back to that.
Agreed. It was I don't know, and maybe I didn't notice it as much when I'm younger. It felt like it was like we were better when we were younger. I'm sure we all felt that way, right?
Yeah.
No, we're all united as a country, but it gets just so many layers of weird stuff over time as you get older.
It's true. That's why we have things like music. I feel like music is the soundtrack to life. I don't think I go a day without listening to music. I
Same.
really don't think I have.
My day is not as good when I don't listen. Like, I've noticed this. The days that I am playing music out of the speaker while I'm doing whatever, that day is generally much better than the days when I don't have any music on at all. I've noticed that recently.
Yeah, it's crucial, and it's primal too.
Yeah.
Brings people together, going back to the old campfire days of dancing around, beating on rocks and shit.
Yeah, that's it. There's something about it that is amazing, how it can, sync up with the heartbeat, and some people can just naturally create it. You can do it off of anything, like you said, hitting rocks together, or some people can sing really well, or even animals can do it. Birds can sing, and what is it for? Why? How did we figure out that we can
'Cause
do
it
this?
feels good.
And why do we do it? Because it feels good, and that's just how did we get to that? Who figured that one out? And why do we have it? And why can it be even, like we said, across animals and different, whales singing in the ocean and shit too. It's a crazy force that I don't feel like we fully understand.
That's true.
It's like magic. Sometimes it can feel like magic when you're at the show and things just line up perfect, and you're seeing your favorite band play, and goosebumps happen. And what an amazing, incredible magic trick.
Yeah, it really is. There's a word for that too. Like when you get goosebumps from music, they call that something. Like it's an actual physical thing
Really?
that is happening.
That's such a cool thing, man.
The way you described that almost gave me goosebumps. I was like, I was feeling that. And Frickashinas got some shows coming up.
Yep, we're playing the 17th. It's a autism benefit.
Nice.
Because our buddy who plays in a band in the practice space, not in our space, but another space, asked us to play. His daughter's got autism. So it's close to his heart. It's going to be a great show. There's a lot of really great bands that are playing. It's for a good cause. That one's at Ratio Overland, down kind of south.
That's a cool venue.
It's really neat. It's a really, really rad spot, and everybody there is super cool. We've played a couple different shows there and had a blast at every single one.
Nice.
So I'm looking forward to that one. We got some other shows on the road. We've been just kind of doing little one-offs here or there. We've played Florida a few times. We're playing Des Moines again in September 29th. It's the day before my birthday.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So that's going to be a party night. At Lefties, we're opening for Authority Zero for like direct support for that show. So yeah, things have been kind of chugging along for the Frickashinas.
Hell yeah.
As long if we can ever say the name right, we started saying the name wrong on purpose all the time.
Just to fuck with
We
people.
really just almost don't say it right even when we play on stage.
It's like a big long running joke.
It's a long running joke, and it's kind of turned into a thing with the fans too.
The
It's,
Frickashinas.
yeah, we try to say funny ones on purpose. I think someone came with the fettuccinis lately.
The
Like,
fettuccinis.
that's brilliant.
See, that's not overthinking it and not taking it too seriously.
Yeah.
And people are having fun with it, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Nobody says our name right or spells it right anyway, so
Yeah.
let's make a joke out of it.
That's hilarious. I love that.
That is.
Well, definitely a great live show. Kevin and I have both seen Frickashinas.
Couple times.
You guys
Yeah.
have been huge supporters of the band.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you very much.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
No, absolutely. Love what you guys are doing. Love the local music scene. And Happy Friday, fantastic. We open and close the show with you guys every week.
Nice.
We listen to the song before we go on. Like, it's part of the show.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I do appreciate it.
My
It's very
girlfriend
cool.
wakes up and sings that song to me on Fridays.
Happy Friday.
She's like, Happy Friday.
My mom hated it in the beginning because
It's
mom hates punk rock. She sings it all the time now.
Sure, it gets
Mom
stuck in your
watches
head
it.
eventually.
She loves it. She's like, it's Friday. It's super catchy.
It is so simple.
We play it on Fridays when we have shows on Fridays.
yeah.
And we don't play it on any of the other days.
That
yet.
makes so much sense, though. It makes sense.
It's fun, dude.
And people probably love it.
people do love it.
Like,
It's
fuck
They're like, what's going on?
it's a
I've
short
never
little
heard-
rock and roll song, and it happened with the last show we played at the Marquee a couple weeks back. We played it in the middle of the set, and then we called our own encore and played that song again.
Nice.
And everybody got a kick out of it. You guys played Happy Friday twice. It just and you call. And nobody even asked for the encore. We're just like, we're gonna do another one. We're cracking up about that. We've done that a couple times now. And
That's fun.
you didn't even get a chance to call for it. We'll call our own encore.
Hell yeah. I want to see a music video for Happy Friday.
Hey, that's
We might have to have a little
that might be
cameo
a good
appearance
idea.
in that video.
It'd be a short but sweet.
You could do so much in that time,
That's a good idea. We've got one an idea down the pipe that we're.
It's just be people like fucking getting
having
ready
a
to
good
party
time.
all weekend.
I could see
Like,
people like
whatever.
getting off work, like you
Yeah.
have a scene of some guy like, come on, I want to go fucking rage.
He's like ripping his
that's a good
tie
idea.
off, and she's like, "Fuck this
That
tie."
might be a good one. Like not have the band in.
and just, kind
a
of have
bunch
like
of
someone
people,
playing
Just
it
a
out.
bunch of other people doing it and have the music. Yeah.
That could be something pretty cool.
I like it.
We haven't done much of that. It's usually us in the video.
Well, you definitely are more than just a pretty voice.
Well, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Thanks for coming and hanging out with us for a bit. This went by quick.
Yeah, this is a blast, dude. I had a fun time with you guys. Thank you so much for inviting me out.
Yeah.
For
You guys,
sure.
like I said, you've been a huge supporter of us. It's much appreciated.
Well, it's good to get to know you better, man.
Definitely.
You know,
Yeah.
we've known you, we've known of each other, but this is like the first time we've actually got to
Hang
sit
out.
down because you've always been playing a show every single
Right,
time.
and,
busy.
and,
We
and I
showed
gotta
up.
go and talk to
Yeah.
people. It's part of it too.
Yeah.
You gotta mix it up.
Hey, you're
For
the
sure.
front man.
Right.
With a great front man comes great front man responsibilities.
But it's true. Like be able to sit down and actually have a conversation, and it's fun. It's a better way.
I like the close beard.
Thank you.
I think last time I was seeing you was like super long.
It
That,
was-
looked
yeah,
good too, but
it was
like
pretty bushy.
it's looking good, man. Looking good.
Thank you.
Beard season's coming up here.
It is.
Get the cooler months
Yeah,
coming.
it's been too hot.
Yeah.
I've been rocking tank tops and no beard because the hair is too much as it is.
Oh my gosh,
Like
I
it's
I
can't
can't imagine the hair.
I can't imagine how that smells.
like brownies.
Oh, shit.
Is that good or bad? I don't know.
That's
but,
good. That's
but
good.
that's what it's.
Like brownies. Not hating it. Oh, shit. All right, well, we're going to get out of here. Everybody already knows. Scroll down, show notes below. Get in touch with the Frickashinas. Good stuff. And, of course, if you join us on Happy Friday tomorrow, you're going to hear them. They open the show every week. So,
Happy
Justin,
Friday.
badass. Thanks for being here, brother.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Everyone be good to yourselves.
You deserve it. Hell yeah.